to another episode of The Checklist. My name is Ify Fabi. I am your host for today. And today we are joined by Mr. Michael Sabani from Swoogo.
Hi, Ify.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Busy. Staying home. But keeping busy.
Busy is a good thing. Busy is a good thing, especially during these times. Not everyone is able to be busy.
I am certainly grateful. I said I'd rather have too much to do than nothing.
Exactly. Well, thank you once again for joining us. I'm really excited to have you for today's topic because exactly just how you're saying being busy and kind of adjusting to everything. Our topic for today is adjusting to our new normal. I wanted to start off by letting everyone know a little bit more about your background. So can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, happy to. So Michael Sabani, I am the director of Swoogo Virtual. Which is a division of Swoogo, which is event marketing software. So happy to get into that a little bit more, I'm sure. And I've been in the event tech industry for about 10 years with product marketing. And yeah.
Nice. So how exactly did you start with events?
That's a great question. It was a complete accident. I had worked early in my career. I co-founded a nonprofit, an educational nonprofit in Atlanta, and I was actually still in school at the time. I went to college older. I was older when I started. I didn't start college until I was 27, so I took a break for a while. And as I finished my degree and decided I wanted to get into a career, I had a friend who worked for an event tech company out of Atlanta called Sign Up For, and she said, we need people with customer success skills and HTML and can help our customers. And so I started there answering phones in support.
Nice.
And kind of moved through the company, moved into the marketing team, became the product owner for the mobile app that we had for events. And after about 5-6 years there, and then left there, and they were acquired. So I left that company, and then I just had my 4-year anniversary with Swoogo on this past Sunday.
Nice. Very nice. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's been an exciting 4 years. At a fully remote startup, and it's been most exciting just in the last 2 months. So
interesting. So for those who don't know, could you break down Swoogo and maybe like a quick little sentence or so?
Yeah, absolutely. Swoogo is event marketing software allowing you to create event websites, branded event websites and experiences, and then collect all of your registration, market your events through email communications, collect a registration, create dynamic registration forms with conditional logic around all the content, and then report on all of the registration data that you've collected.
Very nice. Very nice. So with all your background, I guess right now it's kind of coming in extremely handy in the midst of COVID and coronavirus.
Yeah, it was, there was a few days where we were kind of thinking, what are we going to do? How can we do this? And we started seeing our customers asking, hey, we need to have a virtual event. We've never even thought of this before. What do we, where do we do? Where do we start? What tools do we use? Can we use your software still? How would we use your software? And so, between my time, at Sign Up For and then my time with Swoogo, I worked for another company where I was product marketing manager for North America for web and video, for the entire web and video portfolio. So nice. I had some background in, web software streaming, video meetings, web meetings. And so, it was like, oh gosh, this weird kind of sad Venn diagram, just here's events, here's web and video, and here's a situation where we have to, everyone has to learn how to do this. Right. And I said, it's my time. I can help. This is great. I get to help our customers and help people. So really quickly, within just a matter of a week, at the time, I was director of brand experience, so I was managing the director of marketing, Molly, who's wonderful, and Anne, our director of customer success, who's fantastic. And we managed to, within a week, put together an ebook outlining how you can use our software to build and host a virtual event, put together a webinar that we held really quickly, and with only a week's notice, we had 400 registrants, customers and prospects coming in to see how they could do that. And we were able to do that. Plus, our development team is phenomenal. And our leadership, Leonora and Tim and Neil, our founders, are just fantastic. And we were able to put in new features just within the matter of a week to make things easier. And all of a sudden we saw this is something, that's very timely. So we want to make sure that we can grow this piece of our software for our customers, but also after seeing the value of what can be done virtually, in a frankly, typically in-person focused industry, to say, wow, there's a lot of potential in combining or hybrid events, virtual and in person, and how can we help make sure that value continues? So Leonora decided to create the Swoogo virtual division, and I was promoted to director of that division, which is fantastic. So now I get to help our customers and our software at our company decide how do we make this a value for registrants and customers moving forward.
I mean, I think it's a brilliant idea. Like you said, this is kind of our new normal, and we have to accept it. The virus hit our industry, especially like extremely hard. And like what you were hinting at, I don't think virtual events are kind of here to stay. It's more so how do we integrate them a little bit more, So I think that's an amazing idea that you guys even just started creating a whole division for it.
Yeah, it was a lot of foresight from the founder. She's Leonora, she's founded multiple companies in the event tech industry. She knows what she's doing, and she knows she's a great leader and a great person for a mentor. So it was a great idea. And I mean, I think what we have seen, just with some of our customers, with as an example, if I may, a customer, they have an annual in-person event, about 5,000, 5,500, on a good year, people in person. That's a good turnout. That's a solid number. They were able to pivot to a completely virtual event within 30 days, and had over 30,000 registrants, attendees that actually viewed the content, that have seen, that have hit the page and viewed all of the pieces that they posted. I mean, next year they've said flat out, every event that we're holding now, whether it's in person or not, will have a virtual component, because when
it has to be. I mean,
you have your audience. The world is your audience now. Yeah. I mean, it's great to have it in person. It's important, but when your event, your message, your platform is now just, it's not, in Atlanta or in Boston or in, San Francisco, it's the world, and anyone can now be a part of that. There's no coming back from that. The value is astronomical. So we want to make sure that we're able to help. And part of my job, which is the fun part, is figuring out how do we ensure that this stays this way for customers, that they can create a unique virtual or hybrid event that is not a webinar. An event is different. A virtual event is different, and you have different registration and different experience. I'm a Disney guy, so I'm all about the experience. It's very important. How you go to Disney, and it's the experience that keeps you coming back.
It's the experience.
It's being a part of that. One of my favorite things I've always loved is with the Disney Vacation Club. As soon as you pull up to the resort, you get out, you go to check in. It's not thank you for checking in. It's welcome home. It's it just feels nice. And so being able to say, how do we craft a virtual experience that's branded, that's maintaining a brand, that's not a simple layout. Do you want your image on the top or the left or the right? It's here's an entire piece for your registrants and attendees to experience, and that's something that I'm just very passionate about. If you couldn't tell.
No, that's very interesting. I mean, so with your customers, do you have you seen, like, are they still comfortable charging? Like, we've noticed that, some people with their conferences and webinars, they're doing it for free, maybe because it's still new. But do you still feel that people are fully integrated, like they're fully ready to just completely go virtual? They're charging their attendees and all that?
That's a great question. I think at first we saw a wave of cancellations and a wave of refunds and a wave of what are we going to do? There was a lot of confusion and worry. And I think there still is. What we really see, I think, is our customers more asking these questions, asking, what do we do? How do we do this? How do we charge? Do we charge? If we do, what do we charge? How do we provide? And we've done, most of the last, 45 days has been just on calls every day. 10, 15 calls, customers and prospects. And it's a good thing I like talking, because that's what I've done. But yeah, it's answering those questions. What are we supposed to do? And being able to talk to customers and see some events are uniquely suited to this, but it's all coming down to how can you continue to provide a value. It's all the value, the perceived value.
Right. It's the value.
I will pay X for something that I feel is at that value. So some customers have turned, a 1 day, 8-10 hour event, because I sit in front of my computer all day long, but I'm probably not going to sit in front of my computer to watch 10 hours of sessions. Right. So they would charge a 1 day or 2 day in-person event. They've actually created a 6-day event with a series. And that 6-day event now is broken out to, 2 hours or maybe 3 hours in the middle of the day. So that now I am not just trying to pay, for 2 days, I'm getting 6 days worth of content spread out in my timeline. I can come back and watch these at any time. So now they're getting a value. They're able to reframe the event to provide the value for the cost that they're charging. So that's what some customers are doing.
All right. That's a smart approach. Like you said, it just comes down to value. But with your experience in tech, do you think that, this time kind of calls for more innovation in the digital space? Because I feel like I see an event or a conference or webinar or something on Zoom or anything happen almost every day. But if it's going to be here to stay, or even if we all have to stay in our house to the end of the year, like, do you think that market is going to get oversaturated with, just keep doing all these video events or, the virtual events?
Yeah. Oh man, what a fantastic question. I have many feelings about this, about a number of these pieces. I call them feelings because they get me all riled up. Because I think two things. I think one, there is a lot of opportunists, if I could say it the right way.
Yeah.
These are companies that they're not event technology. They're webinar companies. They're lead gen tools. They're simple, like I said, simple forms with a streaming webcast, and that's great. But that's not an event. And the question we keep coming back to and talking to our customers is, what is the experience you want? If you want, typically I feel like webinars 9 times out of 10, even if I'm interested in the subject matter, they end up being demos that I didn't know I signed up for. And now I'm I wanted to find out about a topic, but now I'm finding out about a topic and how to do it only in your system. So it's not always educational. It's always, it's a sales pitch, and I'm not interested in that. And there's a lot of companies that are positioning themselves that way, and they're useful, and they're very useful, and they're very good at what they're good at. But they're not event focused. And what we try to do is say, and I'm not a tool guy, and I'm not a sports guy, but this is the best analogy I can think of, because we were building garden boxes all weekend to plant food. But we don't want to be the best Swiss Army knife. We don't want to be the best hammer and screwdriver and saw and nails. No, we're going to be the best hammer that we can be. We're a virtual event platform, and we allow our customers to use any tools that make sense, that are useful for their use case. So we want to be the best hammer we can be, and also help you find the best screwdriver you need and find the best saw that you need, and plug those tools into ours, staying as platform agnostic as possible, and being allowing our customers to craft the right virtual events, because we've seen companies that say you have to use this broadcast tool and this streaming tool and this form, and that's it. And we're trying to take a different approach, whereas you can use anything and still get the same security benefits, the same tracking, the same flexibility, no matter what tools you're using, because not everybody can use Zoom. I was just on a call today, and they're like, yeah, we need to use something else because, this particular tool is blacklisted for our customers. And so being able to be flexible in that is important. And I think that helps foster that innovation. That as new tools for that come to light, then we can work with them. And that just makes what's the saying? A rising tide raises all boats. I always get that wrong. But I mean, if, that helps. And try to lift everything up together. So, that's how I feel about it. And the other piece, I think, is that there's not only are there, some tools out there that they're not exactly that piece, but the other thing is there's a lot of tools that are, 15, 20 years old, and they look like they're 15 and 20 years old. And again, we have customers that are like, oh, can you integrate with XYZ? And we're saying, sure, but is that really what you want? Like, do you really want your event, your registrants to experience that? In some cases, the genuine answer is yes. And so we say, okay, great, we can help you and help you create a better experience along with that tool. But yeah, it's those two things, right? So
yeah. No, definitely. I mean, I'm curious to see what comes of this time, especially for event tech, and maybe what products are built. But I mean, I agree. It's ripe for for some new tools. Like, I love Zoom, not to call them out, but definitely, even they have notices on their website that they're being flooded. Like, they can't control some of the quality right now because everyone's using them. So it's time to maybe start trying something else, or seeing if someone can create the next innovative virtual platform or so for conferences or.
Yeah. Necessity is the mother of invention, right? I mean, this is the time where we have to come up with, and honestly, that's, 45 days ago, we said we're going to figure out how to help our customers create virtual events and hold, events on a virtual event platform and use the tools that they need. And then, even the pivot, whereas, we're seeing customers say now, we need another tool. We need tools that don't exist in the market right now, where we're saying, here are easy ways, for us and our software. Now it became adjusting our software to be able to hold virtual events, to then becoming an actual product, to actually having a Swoogo virtual product. And so we pivoted in the pivot to say, now we're in testing stages and rolling out very soon a number of features in our system that'll let you do those different things, one-to-one meetings, sponsorship meetings. That's one thing too, just to call back to the question you asked earlier. Other customers they're not charging their attendees anymore, but they are charging the sponsors. Because now they can they can tightly control that, and so much more. You can say these sponsors can meet with these registrants and create their own virtual meeting rooms where they can meet multiple registrants at once who are interested in that. And so we're building a product to meet that, because there's not one out there that works as well or as easily as we think we can help our customers get to.
Right.
So now, it turned from being able to empower our customers to create virtual events to then creating our own virtual event product.
No, I mean, that's amazing. Like, and I think that's just so key what you said. Now is definitely the time to understand how you can monetize in other ways.
Oh yeah.
I saw, or it seemed like a lot of people were forfeiting profit, but like you said, on the back end, there's still opportunity to get more sponsors. There's still opportunity to get vendors and, other businesses and suppliers to just advertise and, just be a little bit more creative. Maybe do some commercial breaks or, figure out, like you said, one-on-one meetings.
That's great. Exactly that. Yeah. Like when you're streaming your events, whether you're streaming a keynote or you have small breakout rooms sponsored by your sponsors that gets their name out, that has representatives in those meetings, that have, those pre-roll or post-roll, pieces of a video stream, or, looking for those opportunities. And we're also working to take those opportunities that we've identified or our customers have identified and be able to put them actually into a piece of software that makes it easier for you to provide that, not how do I sell a sponsorship? Now it's upload those sponsor logos here and they're going to go up on your stream. You can put them on your session information and have all of that.
And it's already done for you.
Way. Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to see that. I can't wait to see the new product.
Oh, great.
So, in your opinion, what is your projected date? When do you think we'll actually start being able to gather the events, even if it's small?
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, I know, places are opening back up. And I know, I don't know how safe that is now. I've certainly, tomorrow will be 6 weeks, I think, since I've left the house. I mean, you gotta just stay safe and stay careful. I think it's as soon as we can, obviously. But I think it's going to be a staged process. It's going to be a slow rollout. Yeah. I think it should be that way to make sure that everyone stays safe. And that's why, hybrid is important too. It's being able to we actually did have a customer yesterday who said, we are planning a live event for September and it's in California, and there will most likely be a restriction of only 50 people being able to be there in person. And we need another 350 to be able to attend. How do we do that?
All right.
And so being able to say, great, yes, you can have this, you can do this, and there are ways to figure this out and ways to present this that aren't as daunting as they initially seem. So I don't know. Short answer is I'm not sure, but whenever it is, I'll be glad to get out of the house.
That was my next question. So will you be attending something this year if they say it's okay?
If it's okay and safe, certainly. If it's okay and it's safe and everybody, people are being healthy, I want to, obviously. And, we have an annual customer convention. We call it unconventional. That's our blog, and our brand is, we like to say, unconventional. So we have Uncon 20 that was going to be in person. It was going to be the first week of June. Then it was going to be in July. And then, we're pivoting that to a virtual event. And instead of a one-day customer event where we're going to ask our customers to register and sit for 6 hours of watching people talk on video, we're extending that out. It's going to be 3-4 weeks, and it's going to be 1 or 2 sessions a week. And they're going to be, at the same time, and we're going to allow our customers and anybody else who's interested to sign up for those and see more about the product and more about our planning, and our customers can schedule that one-on-one time with our CS team so that, our customer success team can talk to our customers directly, talk about new features. And we're going to be able to do all of that virtually across a number of weeks now instead of one day. So it's cool. And I really enjoy the way that we're able to use our software, kind of walk the walk, and give examples, use it as kind of an example of how things could be.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Well, I mean, I'm excited for the future, like it'll be definitely interesting how everything exactly how we'll have this conversation in the next couple of months. We'll definitely check in and see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I guess just in closing, what are 3 tips that you would leave with everyone for their own checklist in terms of adding or, more so for adjusting to the new normal? What would you suggest?
That's a great question. I've been lucky enough to work with Swoogo, and we're a completely remote company. So I've been remote.
You guys are already ahead of the game.
Yeah. I'm very lucky. I'm very grateful. Been remote for 4 years. I mean, we didn't meet. I met Leonora, our founder, in person the day before I started, and she just happened to be in the Atlanta area. And then I met everyone else that we worked with, including the director of customer success who I had hired. I met them all a year and a half later in person at our first offsite. So we worked together for a year and a half before we met in person, and we were able to click. So I think, I've been lucky for that. And we homeschool our kids. So
nice.
We're already homebodies.
You were really ahead of the game. You were already.
I know. It's that prepared. Meme, right? It's that meme that's like, I didn't know my lifestyle was called quarantine. I didn't know that until this all happened.
This was your normal already. This is.
I mean, I did leave the house every once in a while, but not too often. But I think it's really, staying connected. We are on Slack. We're on Google Meet. We're doing video calls all the time. And so this is something that we've done for 4 years that, we can take for granted that we're available to each other. So I think, one of the things would be just making sure that the people that you work with, the people that your family, we do video calls with the family almost every night. My parents are in Chicago, and, we have family in DC and California, just all over. And so doing video calls to stay in touch, but making sure to stay connected is really something important. And then I think making sure to have something to take your mind off of everything that's going on. And even though, I've been doing meditation courses every week, and it's 2 hours of meditation. And it's interesting that previously it was 8 people in person, in a local place near me. And now when we do it online, there's 550 people around the world that are participating. So it's wild to just say, the reach that you have, the opportunity. So I'd say stay connected, make sure you have something to take your mind off of it. But also I think the third thing would be to make sure that you're taking the opportunity to broaden that, to have these new experiences, and to see like you can do anything now. You can learn anything from anywhere. You can take classes. I know it's hard. You got to try to keep it together first off, right? But also try to take advantage of the opportunities that are out there that they never had these online classes before this happened. And now all of a sudden, they have to, and because they have to, it gets to be something that anyone can participate in. So looking for those opportunities to broaden is a good thing.
Definitely. I mean, that's amazing. I agree 1,000%. There's so much opportunity. Like, we don't have to look at it as, a bad thing, so to speak, but it's definitely, it can birth a new you, It can birth a
I'm
new
working on it. Yeah. I tell you, I've learned more in the last 2 months about permaculture gardening and gardening in the area. We've, planted these 2 big garden boxes. We put in some apple trees. I mean, it's like we started a composter. Like it's like learning, okay, what are we going to do now? First, it was a little bit of panic planting, I think is what we call it. It's like, we have to plant tomatoes so that we have tomatoes. We don't know if the grocery store is going to run, but now we've kind of calmed down a little bit. It's not so much panic planting. But just like all of those opportunities, it can be a good thing if we look for the good things there.
Yeah, if we look for the good in it. No, that's amazing. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate you just taking the time to join us. I think we definitely learned a lot. And I think we definitely can, use this for helping everyone else adjust to their new normal. So before you go, where can we find you?
Yeah, I'm on LinkedIn, Michael Sabani. You can go to swoogo.com, swoogo.com. To find out more about Swoogo, about our virtual events. You can read our blog there. We've got a lot of great tips from the marketing team around events and virtual events, especially. That's where you can find me.
Nice. Well, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and take it easy. I know you have some more calls. But,
Always. Always want to do.
Take your own advice. You remember, take some time to take it away. Take a break.
I know that's the hard part, is taking your own advice. I don't do that. I have to disconnect a little bit more too. But yeah, thank you so much, Ify. It's awesome to talk to you as always. And I love what you're doing and all of the things that you're working on. So I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you so much. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. You all have an amazing day. And until next time, make sure you check your checklist.